Second channel, what's up? I just got a new bike. This is called a Superior XP 969. I've never even heard of this brand before, called Superior. The Bikes Online just started selling this to me. They're really proud of it, so they decided to send me one. So welcome to my brutally honest review. Well, first impressions, there's a big SUP logo, like SUP. that's pretty cool. But this thing looks awesome, man. Like carbon, you got the little red accents here and there. Like this looks like a serious XC race machine. And I mean, this down tube is huge. It's gigantic. And then the rear triangle tubing is really nice. I probably should get some chainstay protection on here. But yeah, for the price, I mean, this looks like really specced out for $18.99. You know, you got the SLX drivetrain. I'm sure they cheaped out and went with a Dior cassette, so probably not super lightweight there. Yeah, so there's a SID fork. It's a SID Select. So I don't know. You got the SID Ultimate, you got the SID Select, which is a step below, but there's a lockout, which is really cool. And the other day I was riding my Syncline, you know, my Polygon XC bike that I customized and everything. And I rode from my house to the trails. And I rode really good on the road, but I decided, because I don't really mess with this stuff ever, I locked out the fork on the Polygon. And I was like, dang, this pedal's way better with a lockout. And I was thinking like, man, I should have got the Fox Stepcast with a lockout. So this bike coming with a lockout, that's a welcome change to me. But there's some bad news right off the bat that I can tell you is, you know, there's the lockout remote right here. That's how you do it. But they say on the website that this is not dropper compatible. And that's the same thing with the Syncline too. I don't know if you saw my video, but I drilled out a hole so I could fit a dropper post. And there is like a routing here. I don't know where that goes. Maybe for like a front derailleur or something like that. But yeah, I don't know where this routing goes. But I mean, I'm sure you could customize this and put a dropper on there. And plus I have a reverb axis dropper on the gravel bike, which I could use definitely. But one thing I really like is the bar and stem. The bar and stem look actually really cool. It has a Superior stem. It's really sleek looking. And then it has these like really nice carbon spacers underneath it. Now I'm a little bit worried because I've had no luck with an Acros headset before. But this one's a little bit different from what I'm used to. It has a knock block, but it's weird. The knock block, I must have to tighten it myself or something. The knock block, I can like hit the limit and then just like keep turning it. So I don't know what that's about. So I'll probably have to tighten it. At first the shifting wasn't like super good. But then I don't know, I like touched it just a little bit and it was functioning fine. So another thing, it has like a chain guide on here and the chain is rubbing in the higher gears. So I'm gonna have to look on how I can adjust that because yeah, I don't want my chain rubbing on the highest gears. But let's get a weight on this thing and see what we're at. Well, this bike is feeling pretty dang light. And I'm pretty sure there's tubes in here. We'll find out in a second. Let's see here, we're on pounds. So stock weight with tubes is 24.18, which is a little weird because the website says 22.5 or something like that. But maybe I just gotta take out those tubes. And yeah, I mean, dude, this whole cockpit setup is really nice feeling. These grips are awesome. So I went with a medium. Let's see here. Yeah, I went with a medium because the reach was very similar to the Syncline. And I'm 5'9", and this feels pretty good. This feels just like it should. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than the Polygon actually. So, and the Polygon, I have a 70mm stem and it feels good, but it felt like maybe a little bit smaller. So this reach is like another, oh, I guess I'm tightening the cassette here. I'm pushing on the cranks and it's just like tightening the cassette. But yeah, this reach was like 8 millimeters more or something like that. And I can definitely tell But yeah, oh wow. Yeah, feels pretty good. Should I go tubeless for this test? I wanted to do like a full stock test, but I don't know. If the weight is 24 pounds, that's like a pound and a half over what they say on their website. So I feel like I'm doing the bike an injustice if I ride it like that. But another thing to point out is the wheels. They're DT Swiss wheels with a 370 hub, straight pull, and then the X 1900 DT Swiss rims. They look a little bit narrow, maybe like 25, 27 internal width. Let's see. No, I don't know. I can't tell. And then it has some really nice Schwalbe tires, which probably pretty dang quick and probably just like perfect for this bike. Another thing is with this seat post, it's carbon, but the seat felt like really heavy. So that's another big area for improvement. Is I could probably, you know, put a lightweight dropper on there, a lightweight seat, and that would save like a freaking pound. So, but yeah, no dropper. And then it's like, where would the dropper even go with the lockout remote, right? So yeah, let's get this thing, I guess let's get it tubeless if I have the valves for it. Our tubeless is done. Let's check the weight now. I put pedals on it, so it weighs 24.71 pounds with my pedals and tubeless. So a little bit missed the mark a little bit from what the website said. And what I did while I was doing the tubeless thing, I bent this chain guide. It's plastic, so I kind of bent it outwards or inwards towards the frame, so it doesn't rub anymore. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I think this bike is ready to go. I don't know. I think I might take the dropper with me. I mean, this thing does not have a quick release seat clamp, so I might take the dropper with me. But then again, I don't know. I'd have to mount the dropper remote in like a weird spot, like above the brake lever. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just run it as is. It's kind of a bummer, but who knows? Maybe the fork lockout is just that good and that much more worth it. So, yeah, I'll see you on the trail. Well, for the overall looks, I'm really impressed with this dang bike, dude. It just looks like a good race bike. And that's what I'm really curious to find out is, can this bike, you know, $18.99 is a pretty good price. Can it be a viable race bike? And, you know, I have the Syncline in mind. I upgraded that quite a bit. So I think that's a great comparison. And, oh, one more thing. There was a chain protector, a chainstay protector in the package, so I applied that. Got some lube on there, got the fork all inflated, so I'm pretty happy. No dropper, not running a dropper this time around, so let's go see how it does. Yeah, first up is a little gravel road. So on the Syncline, that thing did really well on gravel roads, specifically this one. And same thing with this bike. This is like a gravel road grinder for sure, dude. Like, I'm feeling none of this gravel through my hands. Really comfortable. And a good XC bike really makes me question even having a gravel bike to begin with. This thing can just pedal on these forever. Yeah, so Unbound is coming up, and I actually pulled the plug on Unbound. I canceled. I messaged the promoter. I said, hey, can I, cancel my entry fee? So yeah, I'm not going. Back in January, I made a video on this channel kind of talking about the situation with YouTube, and my views had been kind of going down, and I was getting a little nervous in terms of financial security for my family and, my career. And I've been working hard. On the main channel videos and making a really good video with a nice bike build. And plus I got the high-low series coming up. I just finished episode 1, and that's available to view now for channel members. It's gonna come out June 1st otherwise. But yeah, dude, the views have been amazing over the last month and a half or more. Like, I'm really picking up steam again, and really happy with that. It's one of those things with YouTube, it's like your views directly correlate with how much effort you put into the videos. So I decided I need to take a break from training and traveling around and going to races, because to me, racing, I mean, I've done so much of it in the past that it doesn't really mean anything to me. It's just like you're racing for like a little trophy or a stupid medal. I need financial security for the family. That's the most important thing. So I kind of stopped training, and I'll pick it up when I know that I'm comfortable, making a decent living for the family. And the high-low series, it's turned out pretty good, and I have high hopes for that. So maybe I'll pick it up afterwards. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And I think after the high-low series, I probably want to try to go on like a caloric deficit diet and see how that goes. Maybe try to lose like 10 pounds, and that'll give me some motivation for training, probably make me feel a little bit better when I'm climbing and things like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit of a bummer. Some of you will probably be like, oh man, he stopped training, but I'm still making some moves on the main channel. Dude, that high-low series is gonna be good. I think you're gonna be impressed with it. If you like the first one, I think the second one is gonna be like, I'm going for like TV quality. So, but I made it to the jumps. Let's see how this thing jumps with the no dropper. All right, here we go. Can't get clipped in. Yeah, it was a huge torrential downpour yesterday, or last night. Yeah. Whoop. Whoa. Yikes. Yeah, that was okay. Felt kind of stiff. Maybe I'll do it again. All right, run number 2. I'll pay attention more this time around. I'm not casing stuff. A lot better. All right. The seat doesn't feel like it's getting in the way too much either. Must be some good geometry. I said on the main channel on the XL status that having a bigger bike might be better for me because it gives me more of a forward posture, and this bike kind of does that. All right, here's the climb. I haven't been over here in a minute. Yeah, so I feel like I got burned out on riding the same trails over and over and over again. And a part of that was probably the e-bike. because you can cover so much more ground, and like you hit all the downhills constantly, so you just kind of get bored fast. And I was going to all the trail systems too. This is definitely a step below. I should probably lock it out. This is a step below my upgraded Syncline on the climbing, but I bet if you put some light wheels on this thing, this would actually be pretty dang good. Like, that Syncline is so easy to climb. It's so light, 22 pounds. One downside to this really cool looking matte finish is this bike is gonna be hard to keep clean. It's like any kind of oil, it's a smudge magnet right there, right there. And man, that's gonna be hard to keep off. I think it's just, you'd have to just get over it. Even the seat looks a little smudge there. So yeah, this bike would be hard to keep clean, but man, this thing looks like a freaking top tier bike. I'm really happy with it. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned, that's 100 millimeters of travel there. One more thing before I hit the downhill, I gotta point out the engagement on the hub is really bad. All right, so it just went there. Still hasn't caught. Wow, dude. That is really bad engagement. I think the DT Swiss hubs are, I think it is upgradable, but that feels like a 3 or 4 pawl system. But if you're into XC, I mean, you probably understand that it's like you buy a bike and you get some wheels for it. That's kind of how it works with road bikes. Everybody knows that in road bikes. You buy a complete bike and you buy your wheels of choice. They don't really send, in my opinion, they don't sell bikes with great wheels. I mean, they tried DT Swiss, but really it's like, if you've invested in a good set of carbon wheels, you throw that on this kind of bike, oh man, this thing would be ripping right now. Maybe I'll make a follow-up to this bike. But so far, I mean, I don't really feel that much of a difference between this and the Syncline, so I guess I gotta keep riding to find out. All right, a little bit of a downhill. I haven't bedded in my brakes yet, but this thing's like dancing around. I love a good XC bike, man. It's crazy how different these trails look with some leaf cover. I was so used to riding in the winter, and with me not riding that much, it looks very different. Yeah. Yeah, the front bias is way more profound than the Syncline. It's pretty interesting. Another little downhill here. Yeah, I really like the body positioning on this one. With the Syncline and all my upgrades, it felt like the front end and the rear end were detached from each other. So it just kind of felt like I had to manage the front and the rear end together. And this is like an overall package with a great riding position. Yeah. Oh, a little root hop there. Lock out that suspension, prepare for the climb. I'm already starting to feel some hand and forearm fatigue. And yeah, I haven't been riding as much as I was before, but I'll just say that it takes me about 5 minutes to get used to a bike. This is kind of what I do for a living now, is ride a bunch of different bikes. So, I mean, it's pretty common for me to ride a different bike every single time I go out and ride. So, I don't know if it's these aluminum bars with the 31.8 clamp. I'm told that the aluminum bars are more flexy and compliant than carbon bars. Or it could be the tires. I don't know if the tires are, you know, the full XC race tires. I think that said that they're the performance version, so I doubt it. maybe the tires aren't deforming as much as I need them to. Or I could be running too much tire pressure. I'm running 25 in the rear, 22 in the front, and usually I run less than that. But I didn't want to rim strike my first ride. So, oh, and that's another thing. Pro tip. With every bike that you own or ride, you should ride it like you don't own it. So Bikes Online, they did send me this bike, but I'm gonna treat it like I don't own it. That way when I go turn around to sell it, it's not so beat up. I take smoother lines, I try to be a smoother rider. And that's what Seth pointed out when we rode together. He's like, man, you're smooth. It's like, yeah, because I don't want to freaking destroy the bikes. So, and plus, like, sell bikes early. If you start getting bored of a bike, don't let it sit around. Sell that thing immediately. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like sell it before the new model comes out and makes the one that you have look old, you know? So that's my little pro tip here. I'm gonna be riding this bike gently and safely. All right, here comes a rock garden. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Oh, not the best line, but I'll take it. Going in and out of the sun, I bet this riding footage is just horrible, so sorry about that. I only have a fixed amount of time to ride today. My kids are sleeping right now, so I wanted to make this video really fast. And some more downhill single track. I'm trying to find the limit of these tires in this wet dirt. Whoa. All right. I'm gonna do this timed climb here. This is a trail called Lombard. You'll be seeing it a lot on the high-low series because this gets to the castle. And I've been doing timed runs on this trail. So I'm very, very familiar with the lines. Like there's like kind of a bump right there. I always shift down. So we'll see what the times are compared to my trail bike. I want to see if it's how much faster it is on one of these freaking awesome rocket ship XC bikes. And time. I'm sure that was way faster than a 35-pound trail bike. I mean, obviously, right? But I'm gonna hit this jump trail and then I gotta get going. My kids are gonna be waking up soon. And then after I get to the car, I'll give you my overall thoughts. And I got some interesting things to say about this bike, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Let's see if the seat gets in the way. Yeah. Whoa. Bike is quick, whoa. All right. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So before I get into my overall thoughts, if you want to check out this bike for yourself or you want to purchase one, I'll have an affiliate link in the description. And man, you guys have been killing it this year. Been using my affiliate links and it helps out a lot, man. I get a small little commission. It doesn't cost you a thing, and I get to review more bikes because it's been doing so well. So my overall thoughts, brutally honest thoughts. That's what I want to be doing here. Is I want honesty. I don't want to be shilling a bike or anything like that. So this Superior XP something or rather, 969, I think it was a good bike. I think for the price, it's like a race-ready bike on a budget right out of the box, which is awesome. and it'll be even better if you put some nice wheels on there with some good XC race tires. But you could definitely race this bike right out of the box. You just got to have fitness better than mine. I mean, if Tom Pidcock got on a freaking Walmart bike, he'd be beating me no problem. But yeah, so in my category 3, I could definitely be racing this bike. You know, if you don't have the money for the wheels or anything like that, you could maybe, once the tires wear out, you could, you know, get some lighter casing tires. That would definitely help. It was tuned out of the box. Really no issues there. The shifting was all good. The brakes are great. The cockpit is amazing. What I'll do is I'll make another video testing out with my wheels on this thing. But this bike had a more natural front bias compared to my Syncline, which is a tad bit smaller. I had to put a 70 mil stem on that one to create a forward bias. This one has a 60 mil stem, but the geometry was just naturally right there. The seat wasn't getting in the way that much, and I could actually see myself not really caring that this bike doesn't have a dropper. And with these kind of bikes, it really makes me question the need to even have a gravel bike, because these things just tear up the gravel roads. And plus, you talk to any gravel guy out there, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I want bigger tires, I want wider tires, a frame with wider tires. Well, this frame, you can go wide tires on this thing. You could probably go 2.3, 2.4 on this thing. So yeah, maybe I'll do a drop bar. I'll take an XC hardtail and make it into a drop bar bike. Maybe I'll do that on the Syncline. But overall, I like this bike, and I'll probably, once I test the wheels, I could really see myself reaching for this bike rather than my Syncline, to be honest with you.